Law enforcement says church violence jumped more than 200% last year.
Church shooting in Tennessee is being
investigating church violence.
What should have been a joyful event turned into a violent tragedy.
4 deceased.
First, shock, grief, and many, many questions this morning in that tiny
Chen says the FBI has recorded 13 mass
26
killings on church
people
property.
And wounded 20
Something
more.
we all say does not happen in small communities. But we found out today it does.
After that happened, I immediately began to get emails and calls from pastors saying, what can we do to protect our church?
Protect the church, not just from a rare killing like what happened.
All units responding.
But the hundreds of other violent crimes that happen on church properties, all because there's no security.
Crime has invaded sacred places. You've seen the
frequency of domestic violence.
Ex-wife had a protective order against him after he
Church says it filed a restraining order against a former member out of fear for its safety.
Was punched twice during a prayer at the altar.
Very shocking. But many pastors are not just turning the other cheek.
It can't happen here. That you'll hear that over and over. It can't happen here.
We're vulnerable because we say anybody can come.
We want to make sure that everybody is safe.
And we want to accept everybody that walks in the doors.
Obviously, everybody has issues. Church is the place to bring your issues.
Typically, churches have always been a place of a safe haven.
And it's our job to have discernment to determine which of those issues are dangerous to others.
And so we haven't been security conscious in churches, but the times have changed.
I don't want to live with regrets. Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
We have to be prepared for those kinds of situations to intervene and to protect the flock.
Do what you have to do when the wolf shows up, but don't let him kill the sheep.
Even the most sacred of places aren't immune to violence. Not even close.
The biggest thing that makes me cringe
is there's no security.
Is they will say, we don't have security. We're just praying that nothing happens.
You know, why do we need this? It's a house of worship, God to protect. God does protect.
While we are to trust God.
But He also gives us those tools to protect.
They need to marry faith with wisdom and action.
Arming congregations with the knowledge to make sure their Sunday morning is a safe one, a safe one, a safe one.
It looks like something out of a science fiction movie, but it's not a gun. It's designed to avoid the use of a gun or even tasers, first through light and sound.
You don't know what it is, but you know it means business.
And if a bad situation continues to escalate,
so at 10 feet, it's going to hit exactly where I have the dot. There.
It will even shoot a stream of pepper spray right into a bad guy's face without that pepper spray fog.
Okay.
I'm in the middle.
No. None at all on him.
Larry Weber is the U.S. and Canadian distributor for the ProV2. Paul Sanchez is a retired sheriff's deputy and Border Patrol agent.
That's hot.
Can you imagine
that? That is hot. The ProV2 unit.
It also has a camera and microphone recording video and audio of an incident as soon as it leaves the holster. The ProV2 is also a communication device. Both would come in handy if a case goes to court or backup was necessary. Twice in recent weeks, Weber believes the tools on the ProV2 could have helped Seattle police officers stop Charlena Lyles without shooting her and providing better documentation. And aboard that Delta flight to Beijing, where a man is accused of fighting with 2 flight attendants when he tried to open the door, the man was subdued with the help of wine bottles over his head and help from passengers.
This needs to be in every aircraft in the country. Multiple uses, not only into the hospitals, into the workplace.
There are no bullets. Where electric tasers have been associated with some deaths, they say their device will prove to be non-fatal. The company says nearly 3,000 are already in service now in hospitals, schools, gated communities, and country clubs. Its promoters thinking they have one tool that covers more bases in the field with information that will put the bad guys away in court. In Seattle, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.
The people that have used the unit have been extremely pleased with it.
We have significant and comprehensive testimonials. They all love this device.
I'm looking at this as a physician who wants to de-escalate things, but also not injure innocent bystanders.
As a 26-year law enforcement veteran, I responded multiple times. Not one time was a crime ever interrupted. It was always to fill out the report.
There's either try to talk them down or deadly force. And historically, there's not been any middle ground to that until now.
Most perpetrators have planned something out in their mind over and over again, called the OODA effect.
It's difficult to break them out of that with just talking to them.
What we want to do is break up that chain.
So mentally, what are you pointing at me? The dot, the red dot, it tells people I'm going to probably be hit with something.
The federal study shows you have 70% compliance when you see that red light.
And it has a strobe system on the front, a strobe light. When the strobe goes off, in the mind of a deranged subject, it's going to deter the action. And that's what you want to do. You want to stop the aggression. And you also have third-party call. As soon as you press the actuator for the third-party call, I'm automatically talking to 911. Deterrence. 9 out of 10, it's going to deter the action.
It's gone from aggression to preservation.
If the aggressor at this point gets aggressive,
you can pull the trigger and deploy the pepper spray right there between the eyes. This OC is the super potent kind of pepper spray. This is 40 times stronger than what you would get at the sporting goods store.
This is the next generation in deterring the aggressor.
It is psychologically reasonable. It shows somebody that you are serious about what can be done.
It brings a whole new paradigm to de-escalating violence.
There is a true need for a humane, accurate, effective way to de-escalate situations before they get to the point of physical conflict or assault.
The ProV2 is the right choice for the right situation.
The ProV2 is just remarkable, where you go from laser sight on the floor to pulling it up and saying, I am recording this, and we are recording it in audio and video.
And the evidence that is kept in this machine could be used in the court of law.
To be able to do audio, video recording, and Bluetooth contact with law enforcement is going to be invaluable. If this ever reaches court, the lawyers are going to listen to that, and it's going to shut them down.
It's not a question of he said, she said, but rather it's factual.
It's less than the deductible on your general liability insurance.
For heaven's sakes, do your own due diligence, look at the literature, read the brief white paper, and evaluate.
The ProV2 is a game changer.
Simple and effective.
This is the first legitimate choice we have between talking and shooting to de-escalate situations.
This is the future.
It is an entire paradigm shifter.
And its time has definitely come.
The ProV2. Prevention, protection. The ProV2. Because wisdom is your best weapon.